ever since we got our second kid, my wife and I like joined a gym, and we made sure to join one that had a kids club or
Yeah.
slash nursery. So once he turned like 6 months and he was old enough to go there, then that allowed us to basically just like try to take a little bit better care of ourselves, because now that
Yeah.
we have two kids, and it's like, okay, we're gonna have to keep up with both of them.
Let's learn how our next guest gets up, dress up, and show up on purpose. Enjoy the episode. Hello, morning enthusiasts. Welcome to the Best Morning Routine Ever podcast. I am your host, Dr. Lunid, and today I have the honor of introducing a very special guest to the show, Mike Vanelli. Mike is the head video producer with NV Creative. In this role, Mike leads a production team to film commercials for online and TV ads, and he has produced over 2,000 videos. And so today we're going to talk to Mike about what it's like being in his shoes, what it's like being starting in this industry, and the pros and cons, as well as you know, his morning routine towards the end. So no further ado, Mike, welcome to the show.
Happy to be here.
Excited to have you. So go ahead and tell us about your why for being in this industry, for starting out.
Sure. Yeah. So I actually started out making music videos for some big name artists. Basically, once I knew I wanted to get into the film industry and video work, I kind of had to find an area that would allow me to get paid, I guess.
Yeah.
So where somebody is like paying me to do work, rather than how some film stuff goes, where you have to put a lot of money in yourself to be noticed. Anyway, so I started doing some music videos for some big name artists like 3 6 Mafia and Wiz Khalifa and the like. Um, and then so I did that for probably a couple of years, but then it didn't get repetitive. It just kind of got to the point where I wanted to mix it up a little more and do something different. So I kind of looked around, and I kind of thought what I could do to kind of be in the same vein where people would be paying me to do my craft, to do video, and commercials seemed like the most obvious area to go in, because it's a client or a brand giving you
Mhm.
money saying, hey, make this. So started doing that, just smaller commercials here and there. And then, yeah, now years later, I have my own studio. I have employees. We still work with startups and even individuals with their brands, but we work with big companies like Warner Brothers and TikTok and Purple Mattress and things like that as well. So
It's pretty awesome. Are you out of the LA area?
yeah, so we're in Simi Valley, which is about 30 minutes from LA. So it's
Hmm.
towards Ventura County.
Very nice. So shifting from music videos to the commercials or to ad, it was, it still is along the same industry. It was purely a monetary decision.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I still try to make creative things, like short films or uh, you know, TV pilots, things like that. But that's kind of, you know, that's something that I have to invest in, rather than, again, people paying my paycheck,
Yeah.
by us doing the work for them. So yeah, I wanted to make a living doing this, and that seemed like the best course of action, to actually like make a living doing it.
Yeah. Now, Envy is very unique. Tell us the different aspects of it that makes you stand apart, right, from the rest of the production companies.
Sure. Yeah. So a lot of production companies and a lot of our direct competitors pretty much they have a small in-house team that it's just kind of they work in an office. They might do the editing in office, and the writing, but everything else they usually have to go outside for. So, for instance, they might write the script in-house, but then they have to rent the equipment. They have to find a location to shoot. They have to hire the actors. They have to pretty much put together the entire production outside the office. And then once that's done, they usually bring it back in and they do all the editing and the music and things like that. What makes Envy different is we try to do everything in-house. So that means we do have in-house script writers and account managers to deal with the kickoff and the pre-production. But then, I'm in our studio right now. We have like a 5,200 square foot studio. We have a lot of standing sets that you would normally see in commercials. So we have a cafe, we have a home, we have a retail store. We have even the exterior of a house in here. So basically, a lot of sets that you would normally see in a commercial. And we built those so that we don't have to go out and rent locations. So that kind of makes it so that we can bring our costs down, but also so that we have a high bandwidth. We're not traveling anywhere. We can do everything in here. And then same with our equipment. We shoot on cinema cameras. We own all of our own equipment that we could need, so we don't have to ever rent equipment. And then with our actors, I think we have 6 right now. So we have 6 employed actors, which basically, they come in once or twice a week and we shoot commercials. And so we tried to cast people or hire people that have a very kind of generic look that, that they're either ethnically ambiguous and can play, multiple roles that way, or just, that they can maybe play different age ranges, things like that. So that, again, we don't have to go out and do casting each time. And then, we do have in-house post-production, so we can do all the editing as well. And basically that whole process, because we don't need to really ever reach outside of our own company to be able to produce a video, that means we're able to do things a lot faster. And that means we're able to take on a lot more projects than other companies.
It puts you in control as well.
Exactly.
Controlling the schedule, controlling the resources, the people that you hire. How is it managing that? Because it's a full house, right? It's a full house. It's almost like a whole holistic approach where everything is in-house, everything that you need. And I imagine running that can run into its challenges. There are benefits and pros. So tell us how it is managing all that.
It definitely takes some trial and error, and you kind of have to learn over time the best way to do it. I mean, because we have a post-production team and then a pre-production team, and I'm more just involved in the filming and just kind of admin and managerial stuff. But I do all the filming, so it's really gotten to a nice flow where basically, the script writing and the pre-production team handle their stuff, and then I get the scripts and I shoot on the day, and then all that just goes to the post-production team. And for larger projects, I still quality control stuff before it goes out to the clients. But for commercials that we tend to do a lot or that are a little bit shorter, I trust my head of post-production to make sure that it looks good and to make sure that the client's looking there. So sometimes I'll film it and then, I won't even see the delivered product until I go back and say like, hey, could I see this? And oh yeah, that looked really good. So, after the client already emailed us back saying, hey, we love it. So
yeah. Oh, that you see it on TV, right?
yeah, exactly. Or online. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. What you do? I really like it. How long does that process take? Let's say I come in as a client, and I'm looking to be like, you know what, Mike, this is the idea, run with it, script write it, produce it, edit it, and how long is that turnaround?
So Basically, we have kind of like two avenues with that. So if you come to me and you say, "Hey, we just need a quick," we call it UGC, so user generated content. Basically, like we need a quick 15-second TikTok video. So
Mhm.
we used to only have one avenue, but now, in the past year, we've been doing like TikToks as kind of a separate thing because it's been getting so
Yeah.
popular. So with TikTok videos, because they don't take as long to produce and the scripts are a lot shorter because they're normally about 15 seconds. Normally we can do those in between like 20 and 25 days, and that includes script writing, shooting, and delivery. Um, Usually what takes the longest is actually just getting feedback on scripts from clients. So, we'll write a script in 5, maybe 10 days and then send it off. But, sometimes we won't hear from the client for another 2 weeks, regarding basically just telling us if it's approved or if there is any feedback. Because we always tell clients we need an approved script to move forward because we don't want to just produce something and then you say
Right.
like, hey, that's not what I wanted. So the TikToks and the good thing, regardless if it's TikToks or commercials, because we have such a high bandwidth, we produce per project, not per video. So whether you're coming to me and saying, hey, I just need one video right now, or right now we're doing a project, we're shooting 30 TikToks for this one client. It's the same timeline. So, we always tell clients like, hey, the more, like, if you want more videos, it's better to just order them all at once because
Yeah.
you get them in the same timeline regardless. So yeah, TikToks are between 20, 25 days, and then normal commercials, 30-second spots up to, however long they want. Normally it's between 30 and 40 days, depending on how involved the client wants to be. So for instance, yeah, if you came to me and you said, hey, here's my product, I have no ideas, can you just make me a script? Usually that's about 40 days just because we have to kind of research it more, to make sure that we're doing it correctly. If you come to me, you say, I have a basic idea or, I have a draft of a script or something, usually we can do that within 30 days just because we don't have to do as much legwork. So between 30 and 40 days for bigger, longer commercials, between 20 and 25 days for TikToks.
Yeah, it sounds like you're doing market research too. Making
Yeah.
sure that you're staying on brand. How important it is to be on brand for the client, because that, I imagine, is the bulk of the work, is having your team doing that research, getting the message across, um, tailoring it so that it
Exactly.
resonates with the audience, the different audiences that you're targeting.
Yep.
Yeah. So how's that? Tell us a little bit how the branding kicks in. How important is branding in this process?
Yeah, so branding has gotten more important over time to well, at least that we've found. Um, so basically when a client places an order with us, we have a creative brief form that we've created that it's probably at least 20 questions, asking them what's the name of the product, what's the website, um, what's your target demographic, like who's downloading, who's buying it, who's this. Um, we have a question that's kind of unique where it's like, if you could pick one thing or one feature from your product, from your brand, whatever, what is this one thing that you would want to get across? And
Mhm.
usually that's kind of like our baseline for doing the commercial because that's the most important thing. And then we have other questions. Just regarding what style they'd like, if they want it funny, if they want it serious, things like that. So yeah, so we have like a 20 plus question kind of form that they have to fill out just so that when we're making the scripts and when we're making the videos, we kind of get exactly what they want. And I'd say we get it right about 99% of the time. And
Nice.
usually the last 1% is either clients uh, who just usually it's like a miscommunication. So like normally it's like one person from the company filled out the form and they did everything that they thought was correct. And then when we delivered everything, they showed it like to their boss, and their boss was like, "What is this?" Usually that's like the 1% that they're not happy, but we always try to just work with them to you know to revise stuff and get it to where they want it.
99%. I like those numbers. That's
Yeah.
pretty impressive. You have quite an amazing team out there, and I'm sure you've had them for a while. And training kicks into gear. Tell us about the leadership aspect of it, right? So how do you have to show up to ensure that that vision is you get buy-in, right, from your team to
Mhm.
exemplify your vision?
So one of the kind of really important things that I've found is that if if I guess when training somebody, or when I guess working with an employee, if I don't know how to do it, or if I don't have, some experience in what they're doing, I feel like it makes it harder for them, or it makes it harder for me to communicate. So for
Mm,
instance, when I hired my head of post-production, I was doing all the editing of the videos up until then. So when I hired him, then, we were able to communicate because I knew how to edit videos.
yeah.
With our accounts manager, he's kind of the liaison with clients. He does the kickoff. He does all the the talking with them. And again, up until that point, I was talking with all the clients. I was
Mm-hmm.
doing all the kickoffs. And so, when I was training him, I was able to show him how to do it, and he was able to ask me questions. So it wasn't just and very similar with like other people on our team. So, I always try to do things first, I guess, as the boss. I always try to do things first, get a good handle on it, to see, when it gets to the point where I say like, okay, I want somebody else to do this, or okay, it makes more sense for somebody else to do this. But then at that point, I'm familiar with it. So it's not just me hiring somebody saying, hey, edit these videos. I don't know how to edit, but you edit these, and hopefully they turn out good. So really kind of like, knowing your business, knowing your positions before you hire somebody to take over, roles is at least was a big benefit to me in my business.
And it's imperative to be able to delegate like that. It's imperative to be
Hmm.
able to automate, because how else will you scale? So I like the advice of wear the multiple hats, because being an entrepreneur, it forces you to wear those hats, right? Because in the beginning, you don't have the budget, you don't have the capital, you don't have the human resources to help you with
Exactly.
that stuff. So you kind of have to do it all anyway, jack
Yep.
of all trades. And so it helps when it's time to delegate or to train someone else to come on board if you know the steps. Because I do find that a lot easier when I do train, do the say a month of training and thorough training, ask all the questions that you need, and then kind of give them their wings. And now,
Hmm.
now you get creative. Now you bring in your
Exactly.
own style. You bring in your own like jazz into it, so to make it pop, to make it your own. So very sound advice. I'm glad you shared that. So let's talk about your morning routine. You have to show up for your team every day. How do you get up, dress up, and show up?
So normally, so I have two kids right now, so it's and one just started TK. So right now it's me taking him to TK, and then dropping off the little one. He's like 10 months at my mother-in-law's house because my wife and I both work.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I normally we have like business casual, or not business casual, casual dress around the studio. Um, we all have like branded t-shirts,
Yeah.
which I ordered, and I made sure they're like really nice materials, so you can pretty much wear them just whenever. On filming days, we all make sure to wear our company
Mhm.
t-shirts, just to kind of just to make sure we're all in uniform, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's really just t-shirt and shorts. But yeah, but even if I'm not in the office, we all communicate with Slack and email and things like that. So I do try to be available even if I'm not in the office, just for
Mhm.
questions, for comments, things like that. And usually if I'm not available and say if my like accounts manager, slacks me or emails me something with a client and I for some reason can't get back that day, if something happens because I wasn't able to, then usually I'll step in and I'll talk with the client just because, it's it, it's not his fault that I wasn't available. It's not
Mhm.
my account manager's fault that I wasn't available and just and obviously people can't be available 24/7, but just taking a little bit of responsibility as like, the boss. It's like, okay, well, they needed this, I wasn't available, so at least I can step in and just handle it.
And then that's the team effort. You're teaching your team players to behave the same way too, taking responsibility and ownership for stuff like that, for
Yeah,
things like that.
exactly.
Congratulations on the new baby, 10 months.
Thanks.
I know that changes your habits for sure. My
Yep.
my husband and I are expecting our first, and in 2 months,
Uh,
a baby will be here. So we're thinking, what's going to happen? Well, how much are change things going to change in terms of
congrats a
thank
lot.
you. Yeah, a lot. Yeah. So so I want to talk about a little bit on the things that you do to prepare mentally for work,
Okay.
to prepare mentally to show up for your family. So we're talking about meditation, journaling, affirmations, things of that sort that actually gets the mind ready, get your body ready. Because I know how it is. Once you hit the office or you get to the studio or the kids wake up, the day is no longer yours.
Yeah, we you know, ever since we got our second kid, we my wife and I like joined a gym and we made sure to join one that had a like kids club or
Yeah.
slash nursery. So once he turned like 6 months and he was old enough to, go there, then that allowed us to basically just like try to take a little bit better care of ourselves because now that
Yeah.
we have two kids and it's like, okay, we're gonna have to keep up with both of them. So for me, at least I try to go to the gym a few times a week and um, you know, I have zero motivation to exercise at home. Like I tried doing it, just no
Yeah.
motivation because, in the other room is my couch and TV. So, why, why would I exercise when I can just sit and watch? But yeah, I've tried meditating. I've tried, doing all that stuff. But for me, just, even though it's good for your body to exercise, it's kind of just one of those things where, and meditating is the same way, where if you're going and you're exercising, it's just, yeah, you still are able to, keep up with your kids and
Mhm.
whatever, but you're doing it for you first of all, and so it's kind of like, if you put your headphones in, it's just kind of your time, and nobody's forcing you to go, so you're doing it for yourself, and so yeah, other than that, my wife and I just try to um, we try to take out like an hour or two at night just to, even if it's just sitting and like watching TV together, it's
Mhm.
still nice once the kids go to bed. So it's kind of just a way to decompress after the day.
Adult time.
Exactly.
Adult time. Yeah. I'm glad you do that. Yeah, husband and I have date night, and we intend on keeping it when baby get here. So that's really important to make the time for each other. Because every relationship needs the work, right? You got to put in the work to ensure
Yep.
that it flourishes. And so
Exactly.
it's that balance act.
Yep.
So, Mike, tell us, where can we find you? How can we connect with you?
Sure. So our website is thinkenvy.com. So that's thinkenvy.com. And then we're on all the socials, and those are all Think Envy as well. On Instagram and TikTok, we post like behind the scenes of what we do at the studio every day. So those are kind of neat. And then, yeah, so you can find us anywhere on there, and pretty much DM us or shoot us a message or shoot us an email anywhere. And we can help brands, business products get some really good video content.
Amazing. Thank you, Mike, so much for coming on and sharing with us about Envy. What is it that you do and the leadership aspect of it, and how to maximize all your efforts, putting everything in-house. And that really is sound advice for entrepreneurs starting their own business. So thank you for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Yes.
Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please comment and tell us what was your favorite part, your favorite habit that you are going to try out for yourself today. Comment below. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. Until next time, I will see you at the top of your best morning routine ever. Stay blessed.